Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, April 14th, 2 a.m. my time. Price of Bitcoin currently at 64,500 and some change. It looks like we made some good overnight movement, right? I am still looking for some of these lows to get taken out down here, but it looks like the price is moving away from that level. So it's very unlikely that we come back and nuke those levels right now. Maybe it's quite possible that BTC heads up, and at some point, maybe we come back, take out these levels, and then start heading back up. Generally, Bitcoin does not leave stops like this, all these stops under. It does not leave them alone. Okay. So I wouldn't be surprised at some point if it takes them in a very strange fashion. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and bet that okay, I'm only gonna go long if these stops are taken. I'm already long. I've let my Advantage members know that I've been long in my 5K account, the account that we have a challenge in, um, you know, and that one's doing pretty well, right? Again, if you guys are not familiar with the 5K account challenge, basically what we did was at the beginning of the year, we started off with $5,000 in this account, and then we grew it and grew it and traded it. And then right now, as of a couple days back, or actually just yesterday morning, it's at 19,500, right? So we're up almost a 4x, and we've done tremendously well, and I'm pretty happy to just keep growing it steadily, never really taking big risks, keeping my leverage relatively low, and just doing what I do best, which is managing my risk, not getting too emotional about trades, getting in and out of the market whenever I feel the market is getting too high or too low, right? So it's been an incredible experience to grow this account with our Advantage members. And again, this is not financial advice, so I'm not trying to show anybody that they should copy trade me or anything as such. It's just me simply trading, growing the account, and the paid members can follow along, right? So the paid members, you can go to thealphatrades.com if you want to join our community. You can hit the products page right here, and you can join the Advantage membership subscription for $97 a month. Okay. So let's get to the analysis, right? So first things first, we do have some new pivots in the way. The new daily pivot, again, these pivots are nothing but SR levels, so support and resistance levels based on the previous price action for the preceding day, right? Based on the open, high, lows, and closes. Okay, so at present moment, the pivot currently sits around 62,500. It's very possible that we tag that pivot and, like I said, take out these stops right here. And so, we might do something like this, say, chop around, nuke, come back, take off, right? We're going into this coming morning with the Coinbase listing coming up. So it's entirely possible that with the Coinbase listing coming up, we're likely going to do relatively well in the crypto market. It looks like the market has gotten off to a really good start, as you can see, right? Pretty good bullish candle from yesterday. And then now we're seeing the follow-up. Today's candle still has about 16, 17 hours left. So anything can happen, but I still feel pretty good about it. I told our Advantage members that I'm currently long in Solana, Bitcoin, and ETH. I closed out my link position in profit. It took about $2,000 in profit. So far, so good, right? I mean, we're doing relatively well. So, here's sort of a screenshot of exactly what I've done in the account. And as you can see, we've grown this almost to 20K, right? And I've got some good spot positions in, some leverage positions in the market. So again, all this information is always available for Advantage members. The videos that you guys see as free members or free YouTube viewers, I'll post these videos like maybe once every couple of days, but Advantage members actually get these videos twice a day, every single day. Okay, so make sure y'all hit the thumbs up or join our membership. So on the 4-hour 4-hour time frame, right? We see good increasing volume, and the volume has really just actually started to take off, as you can see. If you start zooming out, starting to build up right here, and this is what you want to see. What you want to see is as price starts to push up higher and higher, you want to see this volume starting to increase higher and higher. Okay, this is a sign that there is a real push behind the asset and a real bid under the market. And that's definitely what we're seeing right now. So very positive sign. Okay. Um, Daily basis, I think we already covered. I think the only thing that would really not be good is if price dropped and we broke under 61.9 and started rejecting it right there, right? So 61.9 is basically the previous high. So from way the heck back here, right? Right around that marker, okay? You really don't want to come back inside that and then do something like this, okay? That would not be good because that would imply that this thing was a fake out and now we're going to maybe come back, inside this large range that we previously had and maybe we head lower. Again, it's a possibility. I think the chances of that happening are relatively low, but always something to keep in mind, okay? On a weekly chart, I mean, Bitcoin looks really, really damn good, okay? I did a video for the Advantage members on Sunday, and I talked about how this weekly close was a very positive sign because what we effectively saw was this weekly candle closing above the previous high from this resistance right here, middle of February. This is the real resistance. Okay, when you see a candle like this, right, we hit a high and huge nuke, and the follow-up candle, right, we try to break the weekly high right there, fail because it's barely a close above, and you see 1-2 weeks of down weeks like that, then this is the real resistance. So when we see a weekly candle like this, pretty much open and close above this previous high, right? Very, very bullish sign. And this is one of the reasons why I'm still long. Okay. And I'll probably continue to stay long. I think maybe till 67, maybe 70,000. The reason I say 67,000 is if you kind of take a look at this, right? So if you look at this daily chart right here, and this is Coinbase, okay? So this is, spot, right? So spot volume means a lot because it's not derivatives, okay? XBT, which is the BitMEX contract, is a derivative contract. Derivative basically means these futures contracts derive their value from spot, right? These contracts are basically speculation on this, which is spot. What I'm concerned about in the movement in the spot market is overall declining volume, and then the market itself has kind of lost momentum like this, right? I think it's a little bit more clear when you look at it this way, right? So you can kind of see that fading momentum. But the good sign about all this is, okay, well, yes, we kind of rounded out over here, but if we start to break up and out like we're doing right now, we're going to rip. We're going to go, pretty much at least till 70K, maybe 85, maybe 100,000. Okay, because this right here is basically a gear up, meaning it's consolidation before expansion. That's what it implies to me. But the only concern about that is if the volume does not pick up, as you can see, the volume is going down, right? If the volume does not pick up as we start pressing up higher and higher, then I'm a little bit concerned, right? And then maybe we do something like this, come back, maybe trade in a range sideways. Because the one big thing that I always try to keep my eye on is what are the narratives in the market, right? Well, the biggest narrative that we have coming up is the Coinbase listing, which is literally 7 or 8 hours from now. Well, after the Coinbase listing, then what, right? Well, okay, maybe for the next couple of weeks we have some big retail FOMO. Hopefully the retail FOMO, I would probably say, has been here for a little while. Hopefully it accelerates, right? And retail FOMO, I just mean your average Joe really getting into crypto, because they're super excited about Coinbase listing and they're buying the Coinbase stock, but they're also wanting to buy Bitcoin and ETH and Cardano and Link and all these other altcoins that their friends are talking about, right? That's what you ideally want, right? You want more of the herd coming in and then the prices to inflate and push higher. Okay. So when the media starts talking about crypto taking up higher highs and Bitcoin hitting 70,000, 75 and 80K, you know, that makes me realize, okay, well, maybe this might be, the next big leg up, which again, personally, I believe that we do have another leg up in us. I don't think that Bitcoin stops just at 65K. I think it probably heads to 70 at least, maybe 75, maybe 100. And that's being conservative, on this cycle. It's very possible that we hit higher than 100. But I think this cycle around, I think my expectations are now a little bit more realistic or tamed, which is, even if we get to 80, 85K, I think that's fine. I'm okay after that to go into a 6-month or 1 year consolidation, retracement, bear market. And then next year or something, right? Or later this year, well, I guess it would be next year. Then we gear up for another huge leg. That's ideally what you want. Because when you see markets, see, if you look at a market like this, right? When it's gone up so much, like a parabolic fashion, the ceiling for that market is much more limited for it to just keep going straight up, right? But if the market does something like this, where it goes sideways, goes up, goes sideways for a little while, and then it starts gearing up for another big leg up, then you have huge potential again, right? You can get into a trade, you can position yourself better. A lot of people will have taken profits. A lot of people will have gotten bored, right, of just the market going sideways or retracing, right? So if the market does something like this, right, for the next, I don't know, 6 months, 9 months, and then it breaks out next year, I'd be completely happy with that, right? But for now, I'm not going to question the bull market. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to go long wherever I see the opportunity, like I have, over the last couple of days, being long Bitcoin and ETH and Link and Solana, right? So I'm just going to take it in stride and enjoy the bull market. I'm not going to bet against it. The worst thing you can do in a aggressively bullish market is try to time the top. So as much as I want to say, okay, well, 75, 85, 100K would be great. Well, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to sit there and say, all right, guys, this is the top, I'm going to sell everything. I'm just going to, wait and see, right? I'll go with the flow. I'll see what the market is showing me. And if it doesn't look like a top, then I'm just going to keep adding to my long positions, hanging on, and see how high we can go. That's all you can do in bull markets. But the other thing that I generally try to do in any market, whether it's a stock market or crypto market, is always pay myself. Meaning, if the market is going up continuously, right, taking profits, not getting too greedy, and not over leveraging. The worst thing to do in a bull market is to be impatient, over leverage, or try to short the market and try to time the top. These are the worst things that can happen. And if you do that, and if you have been doing that, trust me, you still have time to turn it around. Fix your mindset, right? Try to understand where we are in terms of the structure of the market and follow the trend, right? Follow the trend. That's all you got to do. Half the time in trending markets, you really just have to go in with lower leverage or spot positions and just enjoy the ride. That's it. You don't have to, over leverage. You don't have to get too greedy. You don't have to go in and out of positions because you see one thing pumping and you miss that pump and then you try to chase it. And so you move out of the asset that's not moving. And then the pump stops on the other asset and the one you got out of then starts pumping. I'm sure you guys have been there, right? Many people are like that because this is how the psychology of the market works. There's nothing new in crypto, okay? It's the same thing that's happened in the stock market over and over again. And even cycles like this, where you see, a whole amount of euphoria and FOMO, right? Everybody wanting to jump in, usage of high leverage, all this stuff has been seen in the stock market for 100 plus years, right? There's nothing new under the sun in the crypto market that the stock market hasn't seen or hasn't done. So you just enjoy the ride in this bullish trend, right? Don't high leverage, don't be impatient. Okay, just follow the trend. Now let's check out the other assets that I'm focused on. Okay, so sushi is one, right? I've been incredibly bullish on sushi, even while we were going down, right? I took in some positions down here. I'm very happy that I did because I still believe that sushi is one of those assets. If you go on Token Terminal, you can actually see the insights on sushi. Where is it? Right there, right? I mean, I believe that sushi, in my opinion, is a very, very underrated asset. Okay. I still think, even at this price, it is extremely underrated. Personally, I'm aiming for sushi to be somewhere near $35 to $50 in the coming few weeks, coming few months. Again, not financial advice, not telling you to buy or sell, just my personal prediction for why I own the asset. I personally think sushi has the ability to overtake Uniswap, and I think it's probably as good, if not better, than PancakeSwap. As a DEX, I think they're doing incredible things. They have a partnership with Solana now, right? I think it's called the Bonsai proposal, right? Bonsai, this thing right here. They started a partnership with Solana, which I believe, once again, will be beneficial for both SushiSwap and Solana. Right. So I don't see any reason why, people are not more bullish on sushi. I don't see why sushi is so overlooked, but again, I don't really care. I'm bullish on sushi. I think it's going to go incredibly high, and I'm just going to hang on to this asset for a little while. Okay. Now, some other altcoins that I'm really bullish on, or I have long positions in, Ethereum, right? So ETH had this, huge sort of running consolidation being built right here, right? And now it looks like it once again wants to start taking off higher and higher, right? The other thing is, this trend line right here that you see, okay? Notice that, resistance, 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 support, support, nukes through, resistance, resistance, and now we're breaking through. Very good sign. Other than that, we had this wedge that was being created, and now we're breaking out of that. Whenever you see trend lines, wedges, these patterns starting to get broken to the upside, especially with convincing, say, breakout volume, right? So if we actually dig in a little bit more, okay, this is some relatively good volume. Now, what I want to see is, in this candle and the follow-up candles, I want to see increase in volume, right? But in any case, when you see consolidation like this, and then you start seeing breakouts like this, very, very good sign, right? So for ETH, I'm bullish towards 2,500, maybe even 3,000, right? I don't really see why ETH should stop anytime before 2,500, at least, maybe 3,000, because we have the EIP 1559 coming up in July. And ETH is barely above, its previous all-time high. I mean, I wouldn't say barely, but I guess, technically, if you think about it, this was a previous all-time high, we're only up 67%. Well, Bitcoin is up almost 3x, from its previous all-time high. Right? Here's Bitcoin right here. Okay. Here's Bitcoin's previous all-time high. So right there, here's where we are right now. It's almost 224%. So I don't see any reason why ETH can't push up higher. I don't know if it gets to the same 3x that Bitcoin hit, but it's entirely possible, because ETH to me is an amazing, platform. And, the smart contract platforms, the L1 ecosystems are, in my opinion, heavily underrated when it comes to, bull markets. I think people overlook them because generally everyone starts chasing the hottest altcoin that's supposed to be the next fastest thing, or the next ETH killer, or, some NFT craze. But the fact of the matter is Ethereum has been here since 2015, right? 2014, 2015. And aside from Bitcoin, Ethereum is the second biggest known brand for crypto. It's been very successful, right? Um, in my opinion, I think it's probably better than Cardano or any other L1 ecosystem out there. Um, but it has flaws, right? It has improvements that it needs. It has network congestions. It has high fees. It doesn't scale as easily. This is why, I like to um, spread my bets a little bit by still being long in ETH. I also want to be long in things like Solana. I also want to keep an eye on things like BNB, which is the Binance Smart Chain, or Polkadot, right? These are all competitors for ETH, but I'm not going to sit here and say, all right, well, I'm not going to be long ETH, but I'm going to be long everything else, right? That I don't want to do. I want to spread my bets in a smart way where I'm not betting against the most used, platform, the smart contract chain like Ethereum. It just would not be wise. So that's one of the reasons why I'm incredibly bullish on ETH. Link has been performing really, really well, right? Link is just ripping through its previous highs here in the middle of February. This was one of my resistance markers. So I took profit on my Link position, my Link long position. I still think Link is probably going to go higher too. I mean, at this point, right? I mean, there's going to be so many great products that are going to go much higher. You really don't need to chase like, oh, what's the next hottest thing? You just got to be patient in the assets that have really shown that they are here for the long haul, that they're not just, pumping straight up in a line, right? Hang on to your good trades, good spot positions. And in my opinion, the market will reward you. You don't need to go out there and chase the next hottest, 3x or 5x that some random person on YouTube is shilling you. You just need to focus on the assets that have been around for a little while, right? And ride the wave with the market. Okay. So anyway, once again, I just wanted to give y'all a rundown of what I see in the market. I'm still bullish. I don't see any reason to be bearish. Going into today's Coinbase listing, it should be a very, very big day for the history of crypto, really. And I think is going to be a very positive outcome for crypto assets like ETH and Bitcoin and the DeFi assets for the coming week or a couple of weeks. All right. Other assets that I'm really bullish on, Solana, like I've said before, right? Even though Solana is kind of topping out a little bit, maybe retracing, moving sideways, whatever you want to call it. I think it'll be fine for the next coming weeks. One of my big targets for Solana is $50. Again, it's just a random target that I came up with. It's not really that random because I actually compared market cap, addressable market cap, and then total market cap of ETH versus Polkadot. And I think Solana is about maybe 1/5 or 1/4 of the market cap of Polkadot. So I figured at the very least, Solana could double, and who knows at that point, maybe it'll be half the market cap of Polkadot, right? Which I think is easily attainable because Solana is really being adopted and used. I mean, I use Solana personally, right? I use Solana, Radium together. Radium is the other asset that you want to pay attention to as well, which is basically like the automated market maker within the Solana ecosystem. Okay. After this big move, it's had a couple of sideways days of consolidations. This is a very nice trending asset, right? It had this kind of consolidation right here. Okay. Broke out right there, right? Coming back into this area and consolidating. I mean, now it just needs to push up, that's it. Once it starts doing that, it should be getting towards $20 and beyond, right? It can easily double from here. in my opinion. Same thing with Serum, right? I'm incredibly bullish on Serum. Actually, if you guys follow me on Twitter, thealphatrades.com, or I'm sorry, the underscore alpha trades, you guys can see, all the stuff that I've posted over the last several months. Like, I had some of these tweets. So, here's our Discord. This is how our Discord looks, by the way. So, you can see on December 9th, right? I posted about my ETH position, my spot position, which filled, right? I added to my spot position. My entry average is 587. I've added and trimmed since then, but nonetheless, right? We've gotten into a good position in the market. Now we're just kind of hanging on, just enjoying the fruits of the labor of picking off some of these positions last year, and just enjoying the bull market up. That's all you can really do, right? Um, Serum, same thing. I think my entry for Serum was almost $2. I think I'm up almost 3 year, almost 4x. So that one's done really well too. FTT, which is probably one of my biggest winners, y'all can see I mentioned FTT right around $10, but I actually got in around 5. Okay, my entry was around 5. All right. So I mentioned to the public right around $10, and I stated that, hey, I'm still looking for, $20, $25 in FTT. And before you know it, it's already at 53. Right. So I've basically 10x'd this position right here. And I still believe that FTX exchange is underrated, and FTT, the token, can probably go up. If the market as a whole keeps going up, FTT can probably go up to 75, maybe $100. Right. That's what I'm betting on. So, really interesting stuff that's happening in the crypto space, but we just now need the performance to continue, right? We need things to just stay relatively stable, not nuke or anything with the Coinbase listing. So that's all I'm looking forward to, just enjoying the ride up. Hopefully, some of y'all join our community and come trade with us, come read our analysis, come share your thoughts, come learn from us, come educate yourselves. So go to thealphatrades.com, hit the products page, and join our Advantage subscription. Okay, take care. Cheers.